And that's what I say to people all the time, like Paul Gordon Hall. And they say, well, you're not going into court to argue, are you? I said, because if I was the judge, if I had a cup of coffee in my hand and I just want to go home, I'd say, I hope you're not here to argue. Are you here to argue today? That's the last thing I want to hear. Just tell me you're standing in my courtroom and you want to argue. I mean, just go for it, boy. Just tell me you want to freaking argue with me. Just make my day. And the kid would say, no, I don't want to argue. My teacher, everybody told me it's not good to argue, so I don't want to argue. And I tell everybody a billion times that argue means to make something clear, to make something shine, to make it white, to state your point, to make it so there's no miscommunication. You know, so, but they want to make you seem like, here, argue in Latin, to make clear, to make known, to prove, to declare, to demonstrate, to shine, to be white, to be bright, to be clear. There you go. What's wrong with that? Of course I'm here to argue. Of course I'm here to make it known, that make it clear, make it known, and prove my case. Of course I'm here. What else would I be doing in court except for be bringing in my point of view? Why would I bother going to court if I'm not here to argue? Why not just stay home and let this guy win by default? No, I'm here because I want to argue, because I want to make my point crystal clear. But if I'm a grouchy old judge and will say, oh, just tell me you're going to argue. Go ahead, just make my effing day. Just tell me you're going to argue. All right, just do it. And you'd be scared out of your pants to say, no, I'm not here to argue. And the judge say, good. Case for the state. Guilty. Get out of here. But it sounds like we're supposed to say, like I hear so many freaking gurus say, oh, well, you go into court in peace and love and understanding. You're not there to argue. And that's why I told Gordon Hall up a new hole in his show one day. And he was like, dude, no, we're not supposed to go to argue. I said, well, then go ahead. Don't argue and don't demonstrate that what you're saying is making crystal clear and you're bringing your case known and you're trying to, you know. I said, go ahead. You'll lose your case so fast your head will spin. You tell the judge, no, I'm not here to argue. Then I said, well, what the fuck are you here for then? There's no controversy. You don't want to say what you've got to say? Okay, fine. I'll give the other side the win. So even if Gordon Hall didn't know what the freak the word argue meant, and he made millions of dollars, you know, bullshitting people, and if he researched these words, and he didn't know what it meant, how are you people going to know what it means? Certain things that the government must do. It's the same thing the Code Noir read back in the early 1700s. No, it's just a definition. Yeah, it's just definitions on how you're supposed to treat, like, your property. So they treat man like property. The government thinks that you want to go run for the Black's Law for your definitions, you go right ahead. And it'll show you how you get treated like property. So you just go right ahead. And you guys keep citing Black's Law Dictionary for me, why don't you?
I didn't know that. Isn't that amazing?
It's the Legalese Society's dictionary. It's not the Dictionary of Man. It's the Dictionary of the Legalese Society. It's not the Dictionary of Man. That's what I'm trying to do with the dictionary. I'm trying to find stuff from the Greeks and Latin words, and I'm saying this is the way man used to talk for hundreds of years. Don't be bullshitted by this stuff that's come around for the last 100, 200 years. I'm trying to find the original sources of the words. So when you guys go to court and say, oh, well, argue. Well, no, teacher told me I better not argue. I'll get in trouble if I argue. Well, dude, if you get in that courtroom and you don't argue, you're going to jail. If you don't argue, you're making it easy for the other side. You better stand up there and argue. Well, that means bad. No, argue means good. It means to make clear, to make shine through, to make transparent, to bring forth the truth. How is that bad? Well, my teacher told me that was bad. Yeah, so she control you easy. And then when you got to court, it makes it for the judge to control you easy. It's simple. You guys.
So how about the word controversy?
Honestly, controversy. That's 4 syllables. That's too many. That's too many. You can manipulate that thing so many different ways from Sunday. You say, what's con mean? You know,
controversy, argue, same thing, right? To argue in court is to create a controversy?
No. That's the worst thing you do. There is no such thing as a synonym in court. It's got to be expressed, not implied. Every word means exactly what it means. You take one word out, you add a word, and you destroy your claim. There is no such thing as a synonym. Not in any good contract, not in any good law.
How do you argue and agree with them?
Wait a second. No, I argue to make my point crystal clear and to make it known to the world. I'm yelling my point out to the world. I'm letting the world and the gods above me in an open form hear me loud and clear. This is how I stand. This is my position. This is what I believe is true. Now condemn me if you wish, but this is what I believe. And that's what argue means.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it means. I'm stating my point of view out to the world in an open forum, and that's where the open forum is supposed to be open to the sky for all the gods to witness. That's all. And I just said, this is now, do you people, my judges, do you believe me? Or do you believe this guy? Now let him argue his point. There's nothing bad about arguing, because you're going to bring your beliefs forward, and I'm going to bring mine. You say you want to agree with the legal fiction. I don't want to agree with the legal fiction. You know, I don't want to agree with a porcupine, a pencil, or a Q-tip. I don't give a damn. I only want to agree with, if I want to make an agreement, it's going to be with my fellow man.